Good morning, gardening students. Here we have what I believe is either a pumpkin or a butternut squash variety. It was planted while I was on maternity leave, so I'm not entirely sure, but it will do for our video today. I was recently asked a question about the flowers of squash plants. Apparently the flowers of squash plants are a delicacy in some cultures. They like to fry them. It sounds very tasty. So the question was, if I picked all my squash flowers, would they still produce fruit? Okay, so first I'm going to go over some squash flower biology. On most squash type plants like butternut squash, acorn squash, yellow summer squash, and green summer squash, they have two types of flowers. They have a male flower and a female flower. So this, what we're looking at right here, is a male flower. I can tell that it is a male flower because it's long stem, it's very long, and then also at the base of the flower where it meets the stem, there's no fruit, right? So a female flower will have some sort of little bulb there that'll be a fruit. So this is a male flower. So if you pick this male flower, your plant should still produce some fruit because the male flower is not the one that produces the fruit. Okay, so let's look for a female flower. So these are all the male flowers. A female flower is going to be a little shorter and it's going to have a little fruit on it. Oh, okay. Here, this female flower hasn't opened up yet, but you can see there where you think a stem should be, it's like a little bulb. That's the potential fruit. And when this female flower opens up, it will need to be pollinated by the pollen from the male flower. So maybe before you pick the male flower to eat, pollinate it, which is really easy. You see the pollen there. You can use your fingertip, you can use a Q-tip, gather some of the pollen, and then simply dust the female flower with the male pollen. So that's the female flower. Let's look at some other female flowers. Here, this one's a little bigger. You can see that's the fruit there, and this will be the flower when it opens up. So once you pollinated the female flower, it should produce a fruit, and then you can harvest your male flowers to eat. Yeah, they're very pretty. Let's look at this another one. Here's some other squash plants. So I'm here in the school garden. Okay, so here we have some more. These are actually, I think, yellow or green squash. And let's see if we can see. Oh, I don't know if you can see this one. So here, this is the male flower. Ooh, what is that? Oh, it's nothing, it's just some pollen. Okay, so that's the male flower. And if you can see, very tiny, right there, is a little yellow stem. That's the zucchini, or not the zucchini, but the yellow squash. So let's see if the other one's. So here, again, this is a male flower. See, there's no fruit at the base of it. And then I see here, this right here is my female flower. It has a yellowy stem because it's going to produce some fruit. Oh, here you can really see these ones. You see those yellow stems? That's going to be the fruit. So this bud here, that's the female flower. And inside this flower, this male flower, I wanted to show you. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. Okay, who's this guy? Okay, so there's an insect in my male flower that is a squash beetle, and those insects are insects that you really don't want in your squash flowers. There, now he's kind of freaking out. You see that guy? He carries some sort of disease that's really bad for the squash. So I'm going to try to remove him and kill him. Yeah. So if you're an organic gardener, then the best way to remove those squash beetles is by hand. And then you just simply squish them. So I'm going to kind of squish him gently so maybe we can still see him. Okay, so they can come in two colors. They can be green or yellow. So that's him right there. And then they have these black dots, kind of like a ladybug would have black dots, but these are going to be green or yellow, and they're going to be more oval shaped, and their head is going to be more like a separate kind of appendage to their body. You can see like the head a lot more clearly than you would a ladybug's head. So yeah, there you go, you have a squash beetle. Okay, so that's what you need to know about the squash flowers, and then some squash beetle trivia. So kill those squash beetles. Happy gardening!